Hey everybody, it's Pax here for the next campaign play along, but this time we're just doing a single standalone scenario, Curse of the Rougarou, and I'm going to be trying to tightly edit my videos a little bit more for your viewing pleasure. So let's get going. The first deck that we're looking at today is a Nathaniel Cho deck. I decided I wanted to try out some of the new cards that we just got previewed in the past week, so I've got two toe-to-toes in here, I've got two sweeping kicks in here, and I've got two on the trails in here. He's going to be really nice for Curse of the Rougarou. Double boxing gloves upgraded, double counterpunch upgraded, double vicious blow upgraded, double I've had worse upgraded, and then we've got some clean them out, some daring, some glory, some stand together, take the initiative guts, Hallowed Mirror, Tetsuo Mori, and a single taunt level 3. And that makes up the Nathaniel Cho deck. This is a 29 XP standalone deck, so I'll be pulling 3 weaknesses for him. We got Chronophobia, we've got the Accursed Follower, and we've got Overzealous. That is nasty. And over here we've got Ursula Downs. I really was excited by this Aeon Chart that we just saw, pairing it up with Ariadne's Twine. I've got 2 of each of them, trying out the new Unearth the Ancients, a single death, 2 surveying the areas to try and pass these Unearth the Ancient tests, and also to get a really nice agility bonus. A single copy of Prophesiae Profana, double fieldwork, double shortcut, double Eureka, double magnifying glass, double laboratory assistant, double crack the case, double Jeremiah Kirby. Everything's even except for my 2 magnifying glasses, so I figured I may as well try it. Double deduction, double manual dexterity, double perception. Kind of a no-nonsense deck with a single Relic Hunter in there. And let's see what our 3 weaknesses are. This is also a 29 XP deck. Self-centered, Chronophobia, and Internal Injury. Okay, that's not too bad. Looks pretty manageable. As you might know, Curse of the Rougarou's got a pretty nasty bag. We've got a couple of -4s, couple -3s, couple, -5, -6, quite a few nasty tokens, but we've also got quite a lot on this end. So let's just go build that bag down in the corner. And here's what it looks like. Pretty even distribution in the center, kind of a little weighted towards this side, but still quite a lot of nastiness over here. And the tablet, which of course reveals the second token, and if you fail, you can't move until the end of the round, which is a pretty quick way to slow down. So we'll see how that goes. Some story here for your benefit. I'm not going to bother reading it. And then we got our setup. So we randomly choose a set of cards to take out of the game. It's going to be New Orleans is out of the game. All right. And then we randomly choose one pile to put into play, which is going to be the Wilderness. We'll take a quick look at our opening hands here. First off for Nathaniel, we've got a pretty good one. That looks pretty comfy. Let's think. So I'm going to get rid of these 3 cards because I think all of these are not quite as relevant first thing. And we'll take a look at the 3 cards we get after that. We're looking for boxing gloves a lot more, which we didn't get, but that's all right. Now over here for Ursula, let's take a look at her opening hand. Ooh, the Prophesiae. Okay, that's a pretty interesting one. I think for this we're just going to be getting rid of Jake. We'll see what we can get instead. This is already canceling attacks of opportunity for us, and I want to get that into play. So, ooh, the Aeon Chart. Oh, this is a nice start. Alright, so our investigators start here at the Forgotten Marsh, connected to the 2 Wilderness. The Forgotten Marsh is a location with forced when you leave, lose 2 resources. And we've got our agenda and act up here. The agenda is just a bunch of story text with 5 doom on it. And our agenda is 2 clues total. Only investigators at a Bayou location may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. So we're going to have a pretty straightforward setup turn for both players. I think I'm just going to play the Hallowed Mirror and Tetsuo Mori over here for Nathaniel. And since he's safely at 0 resources, we're going to shoot him over to Wilderness to see what we can find. We've got the Trapper's Cabin. 3 Shroud, 0 clues. While you're at the Trapper's Cabin, you cannot gain resources. Spend 3 resources to test 3 to convince an old trapper to sell you his last bear trap. If you succeed, take control of the set-aside bear trap asset. Well, that's not where we're going to go, so fortunately, Ursula knows she needs to head over here. But we're not going to head over there with Ursula just yet. We're going to do, like I said, a turn of setup. Let's play our Magnifying Glass for 1 fast. Let's play our Prophesiae Profana for 4 resources. When Profana enters play, I'm choosing the Forgotten Marsh as the locus. Take a scoot over to the Wilderness over here. Again, I had 0 resources, so nothing happens there. The Twisted Underbrush. It's a 3-shrouded location with 2 clues, a victory 1, with an action to gain 2 resources and take a horror. Well, we just took our move with Ursula, so let's take that test to do an investigate. We're going to be testing 6 against the shroud value of 3. Our odds on that are looking pretty good. -5, that's a failure. That's okay, and then we will just pull another test on it. -1, alright, so we get a clue. So that's the end of those turns. Unfortunately, they're a little separated up here, but we'll see how it goes after we do our upkeep. Ooh, an overzealous on Nathaniel's show. So splitting up might have not been a good idea. Let's see what he gets. Cursed Swamp, test 3. For each point you fail by, take a damage. If you're at a bayou location, you cannot commit cards to this skill test. Well, we're not at a bayou location, so we're allowed to commit cards. Unfortunately, Take the Initiative is providing no icons right now, so I think that just means that we're testing 3 against 3. Ho ho ho, nothing to return, but we do pass the test, and then that gains Surge. Dragged Under, test 3 Agility. If you fail, add this to your threat area. When you leave your current location, take 2 damage and discard it. At the end of your turn, test 3. If you succeed, discard Dragged Under. Well, we're probably going to be failing that again. Cultist. If the Rougarou is at your location, reveal another token. Well, we don't have to do that, but this does go in our threat area. Thanks for nothing, Overzealous. Just occurred to me that I forgot to put my Soothing Melodies into my hand in my deck after I played my Hallowed Mirror, so a little late, but better than never. Adding a Doom to the agenda. And then encounter cards. First up's Nathaniel. Ooh, Swamp Leech. Any bayou location. So the Swamp Leech is back here at the Forgotten Marsh. And then for Ursula, we get another Swamp Leech. Well, fortunately, we've got a really easy solution for these guys, because Ursula doesn't take attacks of opportunity right now. So let's move her to the Swamp Leeches. There we go. And then these guys go to her threat area. And then we simply move back, losing a resource. Neither of them do an attack of opportunity. And when they enter the non-bayou location, they both get discarded. And then we get to do Ursula's reaction. We're testing again, 6 against 3. +1, that's the last clue. When we pick up that last clue, we get to play our Crack the Case for 3 resources. And then I'm just going to go ahead and play that Aeon Chart. Right there. I don't think I'm going to use it yet this turn, but we'll see. I think Nathaniel's turn is just going to be a couple of draws, so let's see what we get. Another Tetsuo. A Vicious Blow, that's nice to see. And another Vicious Blow. Ooh, interesting. Testing Dragged Under. That's a fail. So we've definitely got a lot of fighting capability down here now. I could go test those Swamp Leeches if more of them show up. I don't remember how many there are in the bag, but we're definitely a lot more set up to actually deal with enemies than we were a minute ago. We do Upkeep. Perfect. Deduction and Glory. And then we add a Doom to number 2. And then we'll proceed along with some more encounter cards. We've got another Swamp Leech. I'm certain I shuffled this for Nathaniel. And we've got a Dragged Under for Ursula Downs. She's testing 4, 5 against 3. Don't have any icons to add to it, so we're just testing 2 up. 2 up isn't the worst odds. We've got quite a lot of the bag here on our side. Let's see what we get. 2 up. Perfect. Get rid of that. So we've got the 2 clues that we need for the objective. We may as well move on in with Ursula to trigger this objective, get that leech on her, see if we can't discard it the same way we did last turn. So we're going to move in here with Ursula. The leech is going to engage us, and then we're going to flip the act. Here we go. Put the set-aside Lady Esprit into play at a bayou location. Put into play each set-aside location. So now our map is looking like this, with the Foul Swamp on both on Hallowed Lands, and the Brackish Waters on each of Riverside. Put the set-aside the Rougarou enemy into play at any non-bayou location. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each encounter card from the Curse of the Rougarou encounter set into the encounter deck. Discard pile, Rougarou set, and a shuffle. And last but not least, The lead investigator puts the set-aside Curse of the Rougarou weakness into play in his or her threat area. Here's the Curse of the Rougarou in Nathaniel's threat area. At the end of your turn, if you have not dealt any damage this turn, take 1 horror. Yuck. And now, our last act. After the Rougarou leaves a location, place a clue from the token bank on that location. Objective, we have to destroy the beast. If the Rougarou is defeated, R2, maybe there's another way. While an investigator is engaged with the Rougarou, he or she may choose to advance, limit once per phase. So we're back to it being Ursula's turn. After advancing the act there, we're going to take a move action, probably 2 move actions to get this Swamp Leech off of us. The first move action is going to be up to the Foul Swamp, which is a beautiful location. Cannot heal horror, cancel horror with a Finding an Ancient Binding Stone test. I'm fairly certain we're going to be ignoring most of this stuff in favor of Nathaniel beating the shit out of the Rougarou. Next, rather than doing an action to move, we're actually going to use our Eon Chart, which is going to give us 2 actions in a row. Take 2 of the following actions: move, evade, or investigate. So the first action we're going to take with Eon Chart is a move. We're going to move into this unhallowed land here. This unhallowed land is after you end your turn at the ritual grounds, draw a card and take a horror. It's got 2 clues on it. It's got 2 shroud. Because we moved in there, we get to discard the Swamp Leech. And after we move to a location, we also get to take an investigate action. So let's investigate. We are 6 against the Shroud of 2. That's an auto fail. And then we get to do our Eon Chart second action, which is also an investigate. So again, 6 against 2. That is a -2 at the moment, and so we get to pass that test and grab a clue. Oops, forgot to clean up my 2 clues from advancing the first act. Let's get rid of those now. And then we got that clue from up here. Last but not least, we'll do 1 more investigate. That's 6 against 2 still, and we get that last clue. We also get to draw a card and take a horror. Ooh, perception. All in all, a fairly successful turn for Ursula. Let's see what we can do with Nathaniel. Definitely staring down a funky turn for Nathaniel. There's not much he can do at his location, and he can't get to the Rougarou and start fighting him this turn. So that means we're going to be taking a horror, we're going to be taking damage from Dragged Under. Let's see how we can finagle this to make it not quite so painful. So first things first, he's going to be moving over to the Forgotten Marsh. And when he leaves that location, he's going to be taking 2 damage and discarding Dragged Under. Actually, on second thought, I think that I'm going to put the 2 damage on Tetsuo and defeat him. And when I defeat Tetsuo, I'm going to look at the top 9 cards of my deck for an item asset and add it to my hand. So let's do a search here. Top 9 cards for an item. We did get a boxing gloves. We get to add that to our hand. Next action, we're going to spend 2 resources to put the boxing gloves into play in our 2 hand slots. And then I think what we're going to do last action is fire Lady Esprit, dealing her a horror and gaining 2 resources. That'll make it so that next turn I'll have 3 resources to play Tetsuo, and hopefully I won't be too buggered. At the end of my turn, if I've not dealt any damage, I do take a horror, but fortunately I've got that Soothing Melody in hand to be able to deal with that later. Pretty successful turn there. Let's look at our upkeeps. And let's think about what we can afford to discard over here on on Nathaniel, not Randall. I think that mostly the glory is going to be not the most useful. So let's get rid of that. Alright, we're up to 3 Doom. And our encounter cards. We get the Insatiable Bloodlust. Attach this to the Rougarou. Gets +1 fight, +1 damage, +1 horror, can't be evaded. When he takes damage, discard it. And over here on Ursula, we get Ripples on the Surface. Test 3. For each point you fail by, take a horror. If you're at a Bayou location, you cannot commit cards to this skill test. Well, I can't put any skill cards into this anyways. Any cards at all into this, because I don't have any. So 3 against 3. Only -1, that's not so bad, so we just take 1 horror. So I'm thinking I want Nathaniel to go hit the Rougarou, but if he moves down here and hits him, he's going to run away to the farthest location from all investigators, which is one of these 2 locations. And I kind of don't want to keep walking through the Forgotten Marsh, so I'm going to have Ursula go first, and I'm going to have her head this way. So we'll take 1 move action to move to the central location over here. And then we'll take another move action to move right here, which is, while you're at the brackish waters, you cannot play assets. Discard 2 assets from your hand or from play to test the agility test for the fishing net. And now I'm not allowed to move for the rest of the round. But I have 1 action left, and while I'm here, I reduce the cost of each asset I play by 1. So we're going to go ahead and pay 3 to put Jeremiah Kirby into play, and we're going to reveal the top 5 cards of our deck and put all even cards in our hand. The rest get shuffled back in. If I don't call this next guy, like I didn't quite do it in time there, I kind of did it after I saw the magnifying glass, but the magnifying glasses are the only odd costs in the deck, so I'll always be calling even on this one. Those get shuffled back in, and we'll proceed. Like I said a minute ago, the game plan with Nathaniel is to catch the Rougarou. However, I just remembered, move, engage, not enough to hit him. So we're going to play Tetsuo and then take a double move. 1, 2, 3, and Tetsuo is back in play. We do take a horror from the Curse of the Rougarou, but we are going to put that on Tetsuo. I was thinking of putting it directly on Nathaniel so I can heal it with the Soothing Melody, but you can heal it from across any investigators or allies, so there's really no point in doing that. Let's hit our double upkeep button there. Another Soothing Melody, great. We don't have to discard yet. A Fieldwork over here in Ursula. That looks pretty sweet. Fieldwork's really nice in Curse of the Rougarou. We're up to 4 out of 5 Doom. And our encounter card for Nathaniel is the Beast of the Bayou. He makes an immediate attack against each investigator at his location and each connecting location. So that's going to be defeating Tetsuo, dealing 1 horror to us. When Tetsuo gets defeated, we're going to be looking at the top 9 cards of our deck for an item. I don't think I'm going to see one. Don't have a lot of items in the deck. Nope. And then the Mythos phase for Ursula, a slime-covered dole in a non-bayou location. So where to put the slime-covered dole? We can put him up here. That's where Rougarou is going to be running, in one of those 2 locations. We can put him here. That means he's going to be standing in that Forgotten Marsh at the end of the turn because he hunts. And that doesn't sound great, moving to these in 2 turns. Maybe that is okay, actually. Yeah, that's fine. We'll put him right there. So we're going to go ahead with Nathaniel Cho first. What we're going to do is we're going to spend clues off of Ursula. That's 1 clue off Ursula, I believe. Yep, 1 clue as a group to engage the Rougarou, putting him in my threat area with his insatiable bloodlust on him. Next action, we're going to be playing a Clean Them Out for 2 resources, doing a fight against him. So we'll be 7 against 4, I believe, because of insatiable bloodlust. And what we're actually going to do is commit both vicious blows to be at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against 4. 11 against 4 gets us really happy over like a vast majority of the bag. It's really quite good. Let's see what we get. Ooh. Alright. That's the full amount. So we're going to be dealing 1 from the base attack, plus 1 from Nathaniel's ability, plus 2 from Vicious Blow, plus 2 from Vicious Blow is 6 damage in total, which is going to then discard the Insatiable Bloodlust, which I forgot he had on him, so I actually took an extra hit when he did that treachery. Now the Insatiable Bloodlust definitely goes away, and then he scurries off. So starting at my location, he's going to be moving away, dropping a clue each time he moves. So he moves from there to there, dropping a clue, from there to there, dropping a clue, from there to there, dropping a clue. And last but not least, down here on Nathaniel, we're going to play a Soothing Melody to heal 2 horror up and draw a card. Ooh, Chronophobia. Bummer. At the end of my turn, I take a direct horror. So let's pick up some clues with Ursula. She's going to move out of the location she's at, heading out to the brackish waters, and we're going to use Ursula Down's reaction ability to play Unearth the Ancients, choosing a field work from our hand, and committing a perception. That is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against a difficulty of 2, -3, that plays the field work, and grabs a clue off of my location. And draws a card. Now we're going to do something really fun to keep up the momentum. We're going to move back to the starting location, up to the Forgotten Marsh, and then we're going to trigger the ability on the Prophesiae Profana to move Nathaniel to the locus. And then, even further, we're going to play shortcut to move Nathaniel up from the Forgotten Marsh to the Foul Swamp. And last but not least, we're going to use our Aeon Chart to move a location up to the Foul Swamp, triggering field work and doing an investigate with the second action on the Aeon Chart. That's a Shroud of 2, where we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We get the clue at that location. So Vidal is going to hunt once. We're going to ready up. We're going to do our upkeeps on each of our characters. Ooh, another Chronophobia, and play for Ursula. And the Doom is going to tick over for an agenda flip. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If he is in play, find a non-Bayou location with the fewest clues on it and move the Rougarou one location at a time until it enters that location. Well, fortunately for us, we cleared this ritual grounds earlier, so he's going to make 2 moves, once there and then once there, leaving behind a clue on each. We're now at a 6 Doom threshold, and let's do our encounter cards. What have we got for Nathaniel? We've got Ripples on the Surface. Ooh, scary. Let's toss our Take the Initiative into this. Ooh, no, we're at a Bayou location, so we can't commit skill cards. Yuck. That's not good. That's really quite bad. So let's see what we get. +1. Ho ho ho. Best token in the bag. And then over here for Ursula, we get Cursed Swamp. Test 3, for each point you fail by, take a damage. If you're at a Bayou location, you can't commit cards to this skill test. So, same deal as before. I believe that's a -2, but the Rougarou is not at my location, so I don't reveal another token. However, -2 does mean I take 2 damage, so I'm going to put 1 on Jeremiah Kirby and 1 on myself. Well, I've got a pretty straightforward turn for Nathaniel. What he's going to do is he's going to go chase the Rougarou down. So let's walk in once, engage the bastard, spending a clue from Ursula over here. And then we're going to play toe-to-toe, which is a really interesting one for Nathaniel. The attack deals +1 damage and is automatically successful, but as an additional cost to perform this attack, the chosen enemy makes an attack against you. Now, I was thinking that maybe Counterpunch would have a synergy here, and I think it might, but I'm not confident enough to do it that I'm going to do it on camera, because I think the way that this works is I start the fight, then this gets pushed to the end of the fight, but it still targets this enemy even if he's already taken damage from toe-to-toe and pushed away. Either that, or during the paying of costs, I do Counterpunch first, and then he moves away, and then I don't know if this is going to continue the fight out on the Rougarou. So what I'm going to do instead of, faffing about with that, is just do the toe-to-toe. He hits me for 1, 2, 3, 4, but I deal an automatic 3 damage to him. So he's at 9 damage, and he's going to start running away already. And now he's got to move to the farthest location, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, placing some clues like so. At the end of Nathaniel's turn, he's going to take a direct horror. We're going to take another really goofy turn on Ursula. What we're actually going to do with her is we're going to move down here and engage this Dole. And we don't take attacks of opportunity. So we're going to move Nathaniel to the locus. Right there. And finally, we're just going to take a wild ass evade against him. We are currently 4, 5 against 3. Let's get 7 against 3 and see if that works. Well, we do get -4, but 7 against 3, hey, that does work. So he's evaded. We're not going to be taking any damage this turn. So he's evaded at the location, and Ursula draws a card from her committed manual dexterity. At the end of the turn, she also takes a direct horror. The Dole is going to ready during the upkeep phase, and we're also going to do our upkeep phase each. When the Dole readies, I'm going to have it engage Ursula for what's probably obvious reasons. We want Nathaniel to go beat up the Rougarou's last health. We'll get a Doom here on the Rougarou feeds, and we'll proceed with some more encounter cards. Let's hope it's not direct horror. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Got pretty slim odds on getting a success here. Right here on the Foul Swamp. And then over here on Ursula, we get another Swamp Leech. We're going to toss that up at any Bayou location one that we're not going to walk through anytime soon. So we just made it through that by the skin of our teeth. Let's try and play it a little bit safer. We're going to double action over here on Ursula to get rid of this chronophobia from Nathaniel. And then we're going to just walk away, I believe. Yep, we're just going to walk down to the brackish waters with that guy in tow. At the end of the turn, she does take a direct horror, but she's doing all right. Over here on Nathaniel, what we're going to do is we're going to play our Soothing Melody to heal 2 horror. Drawing a card. Sweeping Kick. Cool. We're going to play Randall Cho for 2, getting us a bit of soak in the interim. And then we're going to move down, losing 2 resources when we move. Oh, forgot to lose 2 resources off Ursula. We're going to move down and meet up with her. And hopefully next turn we'll be able to finish off the Rougarou. The Dole is going to be... I believe we missed a trigger on this because he enters the location simultaneously with us, so we should have taken a horror from that. And then we'll also be taking a damage and a horror, killing off Jeremiah Kirby. We're going to get an upkeep for each of us, another Soothing Melody, and another Survey the Area. We're going to be at 2 out of 6 Doom up here. I forgot to take a horror at the end of my turn, but that was going to go on Randall. And I didn't bother with his abilities, but it would be 3 healing off of him. And then let's take a look at this encounter card. It's on the prowl. Find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. So he's going to be heading either to the Trapper's Cabin or the Twisted Underbrush. Doesn't really matter which. And he's going to be dropping a clue behind him all the way. And then that even surges. So let's see what we get next. We get Beast of the Bayou. Makes an immediate attack against each investigator at his location in each connecting location. No attacks are made, so we place a Doom on the current agenda. Right up here. And now we're looking at a treachery for Ursula. It is the Spectral Mist. Attached to a Bayou location, limit 1 per location. Each skill test performed at the attached location gets +1 difficulty. Test to Intellect to disrupt the source of the Spectral Mist. If you succeed, discard it. Well, fortunately for us, that's not going to be hugely relevant. We're just going to toss this up here. And let's close this game out. We're going to discard our Chronophobia for 2 actions. We're going to use the Prophesiae Profana to move any investigator to the locus. We're just going to move Nathaniel right there back to the Forgotten Marsh. Nathaniel is going to walk in once, spend a clue off of Ursula to engage the Rougarou, and then last but not least, he's going to make an attack with Sweeping Kick, which is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 3. -3. That's going to be dealing 3 damage, which brings him to 12 damage on him. That's a defeated Rougarou. And let's take a look at our R2. The creature gives a pitiful wail as dark, miry blood oozes from its wounds. By the time its body collapses into the mud, it is transformed back into its original form. The form of a young, dark-skinned man, his expression twisted in agony. You bring his body back to Lady Esprit, and she works her strange magic, removing the stain of the curse from the land. Call on me should you ever need my help, the mysterious woman tells you. No campaign log, but hey, cool. That was pretty fun. I like that. Hopefully the accelerated gameplay editing was worked for you, and if not, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.